with Silly Chef's News.
Hi, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Bianca.
And welcome to
SSN.
Today, we have the much anticipated product, the eye time.
But first,
The weather!
It's cold!
Hey, Bianca,
yeah,
how does my lipstick look?
a little patchy, honestly.
Son of a biscuit.
No, Natalie!
Ah!
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing technical difficulties. Shipping back
Where are we?
the 20s!
Wait, what was happening in the 20s?
Well, let's see.
Good idea. Well, looks like President Harding is our president.
The 20s were known as the Golden Age.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of financial success. Oh, and innovation.
Let's see. What were some major political events in the 20s? Well, we've got communism and the Red Scare.
Wow, sounds interesting.
Yeah, and we've also got Harding and his cabinet members.
Ooh, scandalous.
Yeah, and Prohibition and the 18th Amendment. Wow, I love the 20s.
Oh, look at this.
Bianca, do you hear something?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, that sounds to me like the communist anthem. Wow. Well, let's go to Pooh in the field.
Reporting live from Silly Chef's News, 1920s version. Since the invasion of Russia by the Bolsheviks, a communist group, nations all over the world are scared of this unknown commodity known as communism. Communism is coming and raiding our own country, infiltrating our own homes and our own lives. There are approximately 150,000 known anarchists and communists in the country, about 0.1% of the population. Under President Hoover, the U.S. Department of Justice conducted a series of raids known as the Palmer Raids, an attempt to arrest all suspected communists and anarchists. During the Palmer Raids, the homes of hundreds were burned down because they were sadly accused. Because of the growing fear of communists and the growing Communist Party in our country, groups are being created all over the country that are saying that they are anti-communist to validate that they are a superior group. Some groups, like the Ku Klux Klan. Thank you. Reporting back to Natalie and Bianca.
And cut.
You're lying. I could barely. That's good. And we're live. 3, 2, 1.
Wow, Pooh, thank you for all that great information on communism. Looks like you really know your stuff.
Breaking news! An anonymous tip was sent to a police officer saying that a citizen was engaged in communist activity.
We're gonna go to the scene of the crime to get all the action.
Wait, but how are the police going to capture her? What about her Fourth Amendment rights and freedom of speech?
Well, hand me the book now. Let's look it up.
I got it.
Well, it looks like at the time of the Red Scare, there was a hunt for anyone and everyone that was suspected of being involved in communism. They were so scared that there was even cases where suspected communist houses were burned down.
Well, we don't want to miss the action.
Oh,
Let's get to the scene of the crime.
We're on the move to the scene of the crime. We're on the move to the scene of the crime.
Here we are at Rosie Rilston's house, a suspected communist. Here we are at Rosie Rilston's house, a believed communist.
Dozy Bilson, you're suspected of communism. I'm coming in whether you like it or not. Ha! The cops are here. I have a badge.
What are you doing in my swamp? What about my Fourth Amendment rights?
You, Bozy Willen, you're suspected of being a communist.
I'm scared. Do you even have any evidence?
'Cause I said so. Hey, is that a Monopoly board?
No.
Yes, it is.
Looks like Rosie Rilston has crossed off all the prizes to make everyone equal.
How shameful. You're under arrest.
I've hit the nest.
Now we can see the officer taking away Rosie Rilston, a suspected communist.
Rosie, how do you feel?
I am outraged. He cannot come into my home with no evidence. It is a violation of my Fourth Amendment rights.
Your Fourth Amendment rights?
All around me are familiar.
Oh no! Oh wow! This Pomerade seems to be a whole big ordeal. I almost feel bad for Cozy Dilson. Back to you, Natalie and Bianca. Gra-ta-ta-ta-ta.
That's just what they want you to think. No, that's just what they want you to think. What?
Ta-ta.
That's just what they want you to think. That's just what they want you to think.
Gra-ta-ta. Cute!
No! That's what she wants you to think. But think about this. What would a communist society look like? It would look like Russia. And we do not like Russia because of World War I. That threatens our democracy. No way, Rose!
Wow, Bianca, are you okay?
Yeah, I just feel so bad for Bosie. That one really got me.
You need a tissue?
Yeah, I do.
Pull yourself together, sweetheart. Anyways.
Looks like up next we're gonna visit Rosie on the scene, talking about the presidents at the time and what was a bit
Scandalous.
with them.
Oh.
President Harding. Harding won the election by a landslide because he promised to return everything to normalcy after the war in his presidential campaign, which is something that people desperately wanted. He was the 29th President of the United States and was head of a Republican administration that won the first election women could vote in 1921. The public expected him to be great, but he ended up being very unsatisfactory. He fell under mass scrutiny for his sandals. Now, as you can see here, this disgusting... Hold on, I'm getting a call. Go for Rosie. Shiver me timbers, folks. I've just been informed that it was not his sandals that fell under mass scrutiny, but his scandals. To start, he put some of his poker cronies in his cabinet, even though they were not necessarily the best people for the job. However, the most major scandal that he faced during his presidency was known as the Teapot Dome scandal. Titled for the town in Wyoming in which it took place, the Teapot Dome scandal was over an oil field next to Teapot Rock. It was leased illegally to private companies even though it was supposed to be reserved for the Navy. When Albert Fall, a member of Harding's cabinet who had no respect for conservatism, started getting lots of money for no reason, people got suspicious and an investigation began. Harding passed away during the investigation, so it was picked up by Coolidge. Finally, Albert Fall was found guilty of accepting a bribe from the company. Speaking of Coolidge, let's talk about that guy. He was Harding's vice president, so naturally he took over for the guy when he died of a heart attack and was re-elected again afterwards. He was more known for his character than his achievements, aka he pretty much did nothing. In fact, he was also known for being frugal with his words. To quote the man himself, saying too much tends to get them twisted up. He was, of course, referring to the American public. Despite the fact that he practically admitted to his political advisor that he just tells them what they want to hear, he was decently liked by the people. In his 5.5-year term, he did call for isolation in foreign policy and for tax cuts, so we can't exactly say he did nothing. We'll never know if he would have been re-elected again, though, because he declined to run for president again in 1928. Oh, Calvin.
Thanks, Rosie. That was so informative on our scandalous president.
Next up, we have Kian talking about Prohibition in the 1920s.
He's going to give us the inside scoop on the ratification and effects of the Prohibition.
Let's go. Kian, are you okay?
Kian, we're live right now. What's going on? Okay, what's the deal, mister?
The 18th Amendment really has me bummed out.
What's the 18th Amendment?
Wow!
Prohibition was the 18th Amendment. It banned the sale and consumption of alcohol. It caused a lot of organized crimes and problems for the police department.
Well, why did they create it?
And who created it?
Some people saw alcohol as a sin. It was created after a while. On October 1919, Congress passed the Volstead Act, the popular name for the National Prohibition Act, over President Woodrow Wilson's veto. It was established the legal definition of intoxicating liquors as well as penalties for producing them.
Well, is it true that it caused some problems for the government?
Yeah, it caused a lot of people to lash out in intoxicated anger, and a lot of pressure on the government.
But I'm still sad I don't have my alcohol.
That's okay, Kian. We have a solution.
Follow us. This is the crappiest. We're taking Kian to a speakeasy.
A speakeasy is where people went to get illegal alcohol underground. Hey, Mama, welcome to the speakeasy. Get in there. Thank you, Kian. And Bianca.
And Natalie for teaching us about the Prohibition, the 18th Amendment, and a little extra fun about the speakeasy.
Wow. Bianca, we've really learned a lot today.
Yeah, I feel like I know everything about politics in the 1920s.
Yeah, me too.
But, I'm a little tired, and if we want to make it back in time for dinner with Shep, we gotta go.
We have to go home.
All right, Nat, hit the button.
All right, let's go.
Bianca. Yeah.
Where's the eye time? Where's the eye time? What are we gonna do? Bianca, are you hiding it?
Try the tissue box. It looks the same.
Is it working?
No! Thank you for tuning in to Silly Shep's News. See you in 80 years.